Hey, you know, guys, I just finished putting up the other video, but I just got to keep going and showing you this stuff. Watch what happened 17 minutes ago. 17 minutes ago. Ready?
Your program is obliterated.
Here's Pete Hegseth on why we maybe shouldn't pay that much attention to a random leaker.
Let him answer this question.
Hello, Mr. Secretary.
Yeah. There's a reason the president calls out fake news for what it is. These pilots, these refuelers, these fighters, these air defenders, the skill and the courage it took to go into enemy territory flying 36 hours on behalf of the American people and the world to take out a nuclear program is beyond what anyone in this audience can fathom. And then the instinct of CNN, the instinct of the New York Times is to try to find a way to spin it for their own political reasons, to try to hurt President Trump or our country. They don't care what the troops think. They don't care what the world thinks. They want to spin it to try to make him look bad based on a leak. Of course, we've all seen plenty of leakers. And what do leakers do? They have agendas. And what do? Do they share the whole information or just the part that they want to introduce? And when they introduce that preliminary report that's deemed to be a low assessment, you know what a low assessment means? Low confidence in the data in that report. And why is there low confidence? Because all of the evidence of what was just bombed by 12 30,000-pound bombs is buried under a mountain, devastated and obliterated. So if you want to make an assessment of what happened at Fordo, you better get a big shovel.
Okay, so obviously Pete Hegseth is super pissed off because the thing about a leaker, what a little snitch leaker is, so like you're watching what's going on and you go leak it to CNN. The liars. You go tell the liars. Then the liars, the serpents, the liars, the serpents, they just go say it and they repeat it over and over and over again. And they propagandize people's minds. And then the serpent part of them and all the minds out there believe it because they're attached to this thing. This thing's in their head. They haven't repented, so this thing's got hold of you. And then they repeat it over and over and over again. But this thing already knows the bombings are printed on U.S. currency notes. Remember? $20 bill, other $20 bill. The odds of both the Pentagon and Twin Towers being on one bill and the federal building bombing being on the other bill. See, watch what's going on here. Just watch.
And go really deep because Iran's nuclear program is obliterated. And
so here he is saying it's obliterated. Look right here. International Atomic Energy Agency loses track of 400 kilograms of uranium as Iran suspends cooperation. So now over here, just right here, that close is the contrary. Oh no, there's 400 kilos of enriched uranium missing. Be afraid. They're getting the entire population amped up because it's already printed on your money. Now, if you don't believe it's printed on your money and you want to watch it again, let's just watch the shorty again. It's on your money. Let me ask you a question. Is the Vatican a snake? It's a yes or no. Okay, then the person speaking to you, I have more knowledge than these other people because mine comes from a divine source. Is there a serpent eating a sheep right here in Nefertiti? Is that a sheep with its tongue sticking out? With a teardrop coming out of the eye? Can you see that? Let's see. There you go. Yeah, that's a dead sheep. Why is it the queen upside down? Those who try and hide their plans, they turn everything upside down. Who's they? The serpent race. That put their seed in this female on her knees to make half of her consciousness serpent conscious. And then one part of her cannibalizes the other part. One spirit cooks the other one. The serpent spirit cooks the sheep spirit. That's why there's dead sheep all over the place in people's heads. It's the most obvious thing in the world now because the Lord made it available. It's not arguable. But see, here they are doing it again. Front load, front load. No, we destroyed the crap out of them. Let me ask you a question. What happens when New York gets nuked or when there's a nuclear tidal wave? What happens when the Hoover Dam blows up and it's all printed on your money? What then? Let me go right here. I'm loading up a video right now. Let me go right here and see if I can show you this.
Clips taken from a video called Destruction of America, produced by Jonathan Kleck, and have...
So let me ask you this question. Why would you have the bombings of the Twin Towers printed on U.S. currency notes? Well, if you're going to take the country down from the inside, the invisible terror group that you're out there fighting that everybody believes you, there's an invisible boogeyman we got to fight. And there is. But he's inside you. He's not out there. He's inside. It's an inside job. Just like Obama is an inside job. So if the bombings are printed on your money, then it's been an inside job from the beginning. If the federal building bombing is printed on your money, then it's been an inside job the whole time. If the Twin Towers are printed on your money blowing up, it's been an inside job. If the Pentagon is blowing up, where'd the $2.3 trillion go? Was it to build underground bases because you know Nibiru's coming? Is that the pit coming into our system? Is that the abyss showing up into our thing? Two parallel universes, another sun in the sky, other moons in the sky? Huh. Makes you think, right? Sounds like the scriptures are all true. Sounds like even the Hadith has its reasons to be correct. Both sides could be true from a different vantage point. There's a thought. But in this system, all they do is lie. It's fascinating. Is that the Twin Towers, yes or no?
Been deleted by YouTube.
Is that the Twin Towers? It's yes or no. If it's the Twin Towers and it happened on 9/11, which is they had a king over them, the angel of the bottomless pit, then you know the angel of the bottomless pit is in charge of the Twin Tower bombing being on your $20 bill. Period. And he's the serpent race. Do you think people set charges to blow up and implode the Twin Towers after the plane got hit? Of course they did. They found tons of nanothermite. There were charges set up. What about Building 7? No plane even hit it. But it fell down. When someone come kick the corner and it just fell down in its own footprint? It's controlled demolition. That means people had to show up, set charges. There's a whole group of people working on it. Who are they? How are you guys? Y'all are doing all this work on this building and you don't even know what? Of course they know. But see, it's all a ruse to keep the sheep asleep and not know what's going on. They're just leading you to the slaughter the whole time. It's all bullshit. The whole thing, the bombings are on your money. I mean, I was like, wake up, sheep.
To continue to conceal the truth. We are now looking at the 1998 US $20 bill, alongside the Twin Towers moments after the attack that took place in 2001. As you can see, the money printed years prior to the attack is identical to the attack on the Twin Towers. Now we will turn the bill over to see the Pentagon bombing on the same bill, folded in the same pattern. This is now two attacks that happened on the same day, identically printed on the same United States $20 bill. If you are skeptical that this is real, or think it might be a coincidence, this is not the first time they printed an attack on your money. Let's quickly review the older $20 bill. This is the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building bombing that took place in Oklahoma City in 1995.
Do you think it's remotely possible that there's any image that looks remotely like the federal building and it has 3 layers of ink blowing up? That's not even remotely possible. You'd have to be a moron to believe that that's remotely possible without it being done with intent, guidance. Who guided it? Serpent race. To keep everybody confused. No. It's all an illusion, just like Genesis 1 said. The whole thing is an illusion. The host body system is an illusion. It's a sleeve. It's a shell that trapped angels for destruction. You either turn back or you're destroyed. That's it. Well, I think the Vatican's a snake eating angels. And the angels are in the form of a big dead sheep. Same as here. Same exact thing. Dead sheep in the kid's head. And a reptile. You're going to try and drill it into you. What are you going to do with this? Beyonce, she's got a reptile eating her own 2 twins. Showed it to you in the other video. How twisted is that? She's got a freaking dress that had an Ouroboros put on it, the head of the female inside of an isotoxal star, and she's pregnant with twins. That's one great mom, huh? But she represents Mother Earth, twin system, Cain and Abel, cannibalistic, isotoxal, edge transitive, freaking Ouroboros, consuming yourself. Do you get it? It's all here. It's perfect. This data's perfect. It's from the Lord. I couldn't have done this. Okay. I saw him doing it again, and I was like, no, they're carrying it way too far. They just keep going. They keep going. They keep going. This was 17 minutes ago. Now it's 41 minutes ago. Pete Hegseth goes nuclear on CNN. But at the same time, oh, look, Iran happened to sneak off with a bunch of enriched uranium. It looks like we're missing some out of the, our inventory. It's short. And we're sure maybe Iran's got it. Because the bombies are on your money. Y'all need to be really scared. We need to get them all whipped up. It is coming. They didn't put them on there not to do it. Get right with the Lord now, man. Make your confession before all the fireworks start, you guys. Anyway, I love you in Christ. This is going to come to an end. There's an eventuality to this. And that's the moment it all happens. That's when everything changes forever. And you go into the greatest horror the world's ever seen. The greatest horror the world has ever seen. That's what Jesus said. So, that's what's coming. I love you in Christ, but you can get converted and you can be spiritually secure. That's it. No one's going to be flesh secure. Sorry. All right. God bless you guys.